We fell out of love like shooting stars, came crashing down.
Hey guys, so it's me, Morgan, and I just want to apologize for not getting up this video on Monday. It's just because my editing program decided to kind of be, I don't know, just stupid and not like work. So I am putting this video up today, which is like a week late. Probably a week late. So I'm sorry about that, and hopefully we can get back to like a regular schedule, and don't hate me. Okay, bye. Hey guys, welcome back to another K-pop Monday. Da, 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 da. If I look a little strange, it's because I'm wearing my glasses, because I've been sick and I had an eye infection, and I've been a hot mess. Let's just say this, I've been a hot mess for the past 2 weeks, and I'm still a hot mess. But I am going to bring Sam some K-pop news, and this is going to be kind of long, I'll admit it. There's a lot of research that I did with this. I hope everything's right. Some things were kind of complex, and some site says something, some site says something else, so I hope I'm giving you the correct information. If not, please feel free to correct me. Please feel free to be like, hey, you're not giving her the right information, or you're saying something wrong. Please let me know down below. But this is going to be kind of long because there is a lot of information to give you, and I hope you haven't heard about the story, Sam, because it's gonna like ruin everything.
As long as it's not BTS winning the Billboard Music Awards, I think I'm kind of in the dark of everything.
Oh, okay. No, it's not that. It's not that. That was a couple weeks ago, which is awesome. Congrats, BTS, by the way.
Yeah.
Congrats. We actually talked about that in a video, and so we are both very happy that BTS won. And
I watched it live. I was so happy. I
was in Harry Potter World, so I didn't have a chance to watch that. But
she got the text message when it happened.
Yes, I did. Sam was freaking out. I was like, yes! So, I am going to be talking about this guy named Top. Do you know who Top is?
He overdosed!
Oh, no, you know about this! Do you know all the information, though?
I know little bits. I know he's going to have criminal charges brought against him, or at least that's what I've heard. And I know he came out of the hospital yesterday.
Okay.
Which was Friday.
Well, I have tons more information to give you, and I think that there's some theories. I want to give you what really happened, because I love conspiracy theories, and I have some conspiracy theories about Top. So to kind of start off for people who don't know, Top is a part of a popular group called Big Bang, and they came out with songs such as Bang Bang Bang, Bay Bay Bay, or is it Bay Bay something? And then there's Loser,
Bang, bang, bang.
And then there was Hara, and then there was Blue, and Fantastic Baby. They have some amazing hits. But Top he's currently enlisted, or he was currently enlisted in the Army as a police officer in Ghana, and I have no clue what he was doing there, because I know you can be a part of the police force in the military, but I know it's kind of looked down upon if you do it that way, because people view that as like the easy route to do. So he already has some negativity going into the military because of the fact that he's taking like the easy route. But on June 1st, Top was accused of smoking pot, and even worse, it was confirmed by the police that he tested positive to smoking marijuana in October. Now, for those who don't know, in South Korea, it's very against the law to smoke pot or to have THC in your system. They actually they actually have pot to the same standards they would have something as cocaine or like any hardcore drug as the same as pot, which is very interesting, because down here or in the United States, it's very like, I'm not saying that,
whatever, like, if you're gonna smoke, smoke.
Well, I'm not saying like it's whatever, because obviously if you get caught with it, you're gonna get in trouble, but it's not as severe as it would be if you got caught with cocaine or something harsh like that.
Right, and if, just to like put a little bullet point in there too, if no one like kind of follows what's going on in like the United States legislation, it's kind of going toward, we have states who have legalized it 100%, like I think Colorado is 100% legal. And then you have other states like Vermont, where I live, where it's medicinally legal, but it's not recreationally legal. So it's like the stigma's coming off of it slowly. And most people, at least around where I live, are kind of like,
yeah,
I don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And I'm the same way too. It's proven over and over again that it can help people So I have no issues with it.
Yeah, me too. I have no issues with it, but apparently in South Korea they do, because back in 2010, a rapper, I forgot his name, I think it was Crown J. He was in the United States. They took a photo. Someone took a photo of him in a recording studio, and he had a joint, or he was smoking a joint, or he had a joint in his hand, and they of course took that photo, used it as evidence, tested him. He tested positive for THC, and he was given a hefty fine and given 8 months in prison and also 2 years of probation.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
almost that's way more than the crime. Like the punishment does not fit the crime at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah. So it's pretty huge. So there are some key players that you should know about in this story. So the first one is a former stylist for Big Bang in 21, and he was caught and arrested for smoking marijuana while in Japan. But previously that year, he was caught in the United States with cocaine in Los Angeles. And since he was close to many of the idols at YG, a lot of people thought that he had connections with them and that he was basically giving them drugs, and that, um, a bunch of idols were doing drugs. But since there was no hard evidence, they couldn't test anyone or do anything about it. And then in comes 21-year-old Han Soo-hee, and she has been training for being an idol for years now, and she has tried auditioning for so many different companies such as JYP, and she even won a contest with JYP where she sent her audition online and she won, except it was never made publicly whether or not she actually made it into the company or not. And then she was also a part of the show called The Great Star Birth. And she was there for a couple of months and then she left. And then she also joined another company, and she's supposed to debut with G-Friend or Girlfriend, if you know what who that group is. But she was either removed from the company or she left on her own. We don't know what happened. And then she joined Jellyfish, which is where Vix is from. And she was supposed to debut in their girl group, but of course she got pulled out, or she left because she's not a part of that group. And some anonymous, not like person, like one of their employees, basically said that she was removed due to personal issues. So we don't know what personal issues were, whether she didn't get along with the girls, whether or not they weren't who she wanted, or she had just had attitude problems. And then she was revealed that she had begun smoking pot to cope with stress, and the police, I don't know if, I think the police got tipped that she was smoking, so they arrested her, they tested her, she tested positive, and she basically gave up that she was smoking with Top. So she basically snitched on him that she was smoking with him, which I mean, I understand you're pressured by the police and you should do what's right, but don't be a snitch. No. Because honestly, this just ruins her whole chance to be in entertainment.
Right.
Obviously, she
Well,
can't.
well, she's SOL now.
Like, she's gone.
No company's going to take her, so she's done.
Yeah, and no fan's gonna want to stand by her because she ratted on Top. And I'm not saying what Top did was right. I'm not saying what she did was right, but looking at, like, I don't. She definitely got him in so much worse trouble, and with the tranquilized overdoses. No one want to touch her. No one's want to be a fan of her. I mean, people can be fans of her, but like, she definitely caused herself to be put in a worse situation than she was before. But so on to the actual story. So Top first said when it first came out, he was like, no, it's an e-cigarette, it's an e-cigarette. But then he admitted later on that he did smoke pot because he was given the test results that he did test positive to smoking pot in October, and he admitted that he did, or he was, the police department indicated that he smoked 3 different times with Suhi, and then he would have to pay, I think they said 44,000, but then I got another number later on. It keeps going up. And then they also said that he might get a year to 6 months of prison, and that he was also he could also be dismissed from the police force if he does get charged with this, and which is like, that's so negative. Like, there was this rapper who basically got an American citizenship so he didn't have to serve in the army, and everyone viewed him as like, you're a piece of shit, blah blah. And now with Top not being able to serve, his career is ruined. His career is it's pretty much down the drain. The pot thing, I could, like, his fellow member got caught smoking pot. Well, he said it was an accident. He didn't know it was pot. He thought it was a cigarette. But he knew it was pot. Let's just be honest. Like, he knew it was. But I definitely feel like he could have gotten away with this, or not gotten away with this. I'm sorry, that's the wrong word. I definitely think he could come above this if it wasn't for the fact that he is getting kicked out of the army for it, and for the fact that he lied about it in the beginning too. It's always good to be truthful about mistakes you made. So here's when things get kind of complicated, which you kind of talked about already, Sam. On June 6th, Top was found unconscious and brought to the hospital, where he was moved from the ER to intensive care. But the police force did say, like, oh, he moved to intensive care because of the fact that we wanted to do tests on him and we didn't want people recognizing him, so he's more safer in intensive care, which I'll explain later on. I don't think that makes any sense, because that doesn't make sense. And also, the police released a statement saying, like, he took prescribed tranquilizers, which were an anti-anxiety medication with sleeping pill ingredients that help him sleep, and he took the pill as usual from the police station, or from his where he serves in the military. And the next day he wouldn't wake up. It was afternoon. He was sweating. He wouldn't wake up. He wouldn't respond. So they assisted him. They didn't carry him. That's what they said. We assisted him to the hospital, and he was fine. He was sleeping. He just needed 2 days to kind of rest. He was snoring. He was fine. But this is totally opposite from what his doctor released. So the next day, the doctor basically says Top has not regained consciousness. Like, he's not woken up yet. He's basically told the press to stop saying that Top is just sleeping and snoring. And another doctor even told the reporters that he hasn't been able to make normal eye contact, and he hasn't been able to, like, recover. And if anything, he'll take him a week or so to recover from what happened. And then his mother came out, and his mother was very upset with the police station. So his mother came out and said, basically, like, my son is unconscious, and it's hard to read articles that are saying he's in deep sleep, and it's hurtful. Please edit and refrain from saying such things. We don't know how things will turn out. My son's in critical condition. I see my son dying, but I see reports saying he's just sleeping. Isn't that wrongful reporting? And his mother even said that due to a lack of oxygen in his brain, it might even lead to brain damage. And his mother also said that he's wearing a breathing mask and he was unconscious, while people were just saying that he was sleeping, which is very hurtful. And I can see why it'd be really annoying from his family's pinpoint, because obviously he's in such a bad condition. And then the police came out with a statement basically saying, like, well, the test came back normal, he's responsive, he's fine. They also said, they went back and forth between the mother and the doctor, and I smell a cover up. That's what I smell.
Yeah, I do too.
But
well, it's interesting. So I hadn't really read into the story. I just kind of saw, like, on YouTube and stuff, like, because I follow a bunch of different YouTubers who do kind of like newsy-ish things. And the picture I saw of him leaving the hospital, I don't know if you've seen the picture. He's wearing a mask, and you've seen his eyes. Have you looked at his eyes?
Yeah.
They're zombie. Like, there's something that was either seriously wrong or is still seriously wrong with him.
Well, because he did get released, and like you said, he just got released on June 9th to go to a different hospital. But I do want to mention, I didn't have enough time to do more research in this. Unfortunately, I'm sorry about that. But from what I've been from talking to all my other friends who are into K-pop, they said that Top had issues with depression. That he does have issues with depression, that when he broke up with this one girlfriend, people say that he tried committing suicide. His company said that it was just from stress. So it's not confirmed, but people, when this article did come out, a lot of the comments were like, we expected something like this to happen. We expected him to react in such a negative way, which is really sad. And the thing is that since he's getting his medication from the police, from the military and the police, they regulate how many pills he gets. So it's their fault that he got a heavier dose. unless he mixed it with alcohol and he messed up and it's
Yeah,
his fault.
alcohol and depression medication are like a wicked no-no.
But he
Wicked no-no.
even so, the police came back and said no, everything was clear. They should have just been like, hey, he was drinking, he was not taking care of himself, and he overdosed.
Yeah,
But
and what do the police get out of it if they cover this up? There's no benefit to it.
I feel like they're covering it up because maybe they're a mistake. Like they made a mistake. They are trying to cover it up. And this is all like this is not fact, you guys. We're just talking about this. This is obviously we don't know the truth. But I definitely think it's a cover up. I think that something happened for him to overdose.
Hmm.
And I think it's the police's fault, and I think that they're trying to cover it up because he does not look right. And I believe more on the mom's side than I do the police side. Because why would the mom lie about her son being
Right.
sick?
I mean, yeah, she's his mom. She just wants him to be okay.
Yeah. And
So it's really interesting.
yeah, and the one thing I really want to talk to you about and get your opinion about is idols doing drugs. Okay, there's been a lot of conversation about idols doing drugs, not just anxiety. Like I'm not talking like pot and stuff like that. A lot of K-pop idols, which I'm not sure is completely true because I read this around and this could be a rumor. And this one girl who worked at this company talked about how a lot of idols they take drugs, not not like I'm not talking about hardcore drugs or anything, but they take drugs to basically go through the day, to basically like do their hard schedule that they barely get any sleep, they barely get any food, and so they have to take medication to basically be like, "Hi, we're here," blah blah blah. What's your thoughts on that? If that's true?
Um, it wouldn't shock me,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. They live under such scrutiny of how they look, how they act. They have to be in perfect condition at all times. Like they can't just have a bad day
Mm.
because people freak out. And especially with how globalized K-pop's becoming, I almost said K-con, with how globalized K-pop is becoming, um, they have even more eyes on them now than they have ever had before.
Mm.
So for them to take Ritalin or a depression medication or like a diet pill or anything like that where like they're overusing them so they can stay at nobody can stay at this level for long periods of time
Mm.
and not have a crash like hard. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, because it could really mess your system up. What I'm saying is that I wouldn't be shocked if like these kinds of accusations or these kinds of claims became true, like they were proven to be correct.
Mm. Do you think that Top meant to hurt himself? And this is a
No.
question I'm not asking lightly because obviously suicide it's a very serious thing, and I'm not saying like we're not saying that Top committed suicide. We're not saying that. And you said no, you don't think so. Why don't you think so?
I don't think suicide is a decision to hurt yourself. I think suicide is more of a decision to stop the pain.
Mm.
It's to stop the hurting. And for people, like when people go, oh, well, so and so tried to commit suicide, how selfish are they?
Yeah, no, it's not
It's
being
not a
selfish.
selfish decision. It's in their mind, it's a selfless decision
Mm.
because they're going to stop hurting. They're going to stop hurting the people around them. They're not going to disappoint anybody anymore because they're not going to be around anymore.
Mm.
So I don't, if it comes to be a suicide attempt, I'm not going to say that like he tried to hurt himself. I'm going to say that he tried to get rid of the pain or a pain that he's going through.
Yeah, I think it's mostly like he didn't think about the consequences. That he just did it, and he was sick, and he was annoyed, and I don't think he meant to kill himself or meant to hurt himself in that way, or hurt himself in the way that he would die. I think it was an accident, and I think that people should be more respectful of him. Like, just give him space. I know he's been
Right.
getting a lot of hate drama or hate comments. Just give him space. Let the police deal with it for a couple minutes, and then you can give them whatever thoughts you want to say on it. As a K-pop fan who has, I wouldn't say I'm a huge Big Bang fan. I would say Big Bang was one of the bands I did like when I got into K-pop, and I do enjoy their music. They're one of the groups that I will always check out their music when they come out with a music video. I can say that I am kind of disappointed with Top. I'm as a fan, I'd be disappointed with Infinite too. If a member of Infinite came out and they found out that they did drugs, I'd be disappointed in them too. But that doesn't give you the right to hate them, and that doesn't give you the right to completely judge them on their situation. Yeah, I we don't know what stress he's going through. We don't know how he's doing. We don't know how his mental state is. So in no way is writing rude comments and mean comments going to help anything. So,
No, I think I know from my limited knowledge that mental health help is not easily sought in Korea.
mm,
It's kind of like, it's kind of taboo to talk about someone who has depression
mm,
or anxiety or anything like that. So when someone is going through all of that, I don't think anybody wants to admit that they're noticing the signs.
yeah,
And if it gets let go too far, things like this happen.
happens. Another thing though is really interesting is I saw a comment basically saying like from a Korean someone who's Korean wrote a comment basically saying like half the country has anxiety but we don't do stuff like this, and someone took their comment and wrote underneath them like, well, if half your country has anxiety, why aren't you fixing it?
Hmm.
Instead of being like, you know what, I have that too, it's not a big deal, suck it up. Why
Are
don't you
you
have
kidding?
compassion for him, compassion for other people who are going through struggles? Like, although me and Sam have we're very close friends, but we're very different. Like, you have your own struggles you're going through, I have my own struggles I'm going through, but that doesn't mean I can't be like my struggles are worse than yours, or you can't be like your struggle, like like the same
Right.
way. Is being compassionate, being understanding, and although he's an idol, he's still a person, and we have to remember that. But anything else you want to add, Sam?
Um, I just hope he gets the help he needs.
Yeah, me too.
That's all I have to say. I'm not like super into Big Bang or anything like that. But I do enjoy their music. Like
Mm,
when you were starting to talk about, like, I didn't know they were Big Bang songs, but I hear them all the time on my Pandora list.
mm,
Um, so like I hope that like the whole group takes this time to be like, let's take a break. Let's
mm.
take a step back. Let's reprioritize and get him the help that he needs, because at this point, where do they go from here? Like
Exactly.
they need to sit and recenter themselves and then move
Yeah,
forward.
exactly. Exactly. But anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this almost a discussion video. It's not a discussion video. This is talking about K-pop news. I'm sorry if this was kind of sad, or if you think we're being kind of insensitive, because we're not trying to be like that at all. But if you guys want to leave any comments or talk about anything, please write them down below, because we'd love to have a conversation with you. And we will see you guys next Monday to talk about anything else that's K-pop news related. Thank you for you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Okay, bye.